يا زمانا هل نسيت المسلما نور هذا الكون روى الظما أقمرا كنا شموسا أنجما ومضينا كي نغيث الأمما ننشر الحب ونمضي قدما حلل النور بلادي فاكتسي حلل النور بلادي فاكتسي جنك الغيث إذا الغيث هما يا زمان.
The place we are going to discover today is the heritage city of Anjar, located in East Lebanon. A group of archaeologists unveiled the vestiges in the 1940s, 1,200 years after the city had fallen into oblivion. The city they discovered was almost entirely destroyed, yet it displayed impressive signs of its past splendor, and it gave a reflection of the very unique hybrid culture that it used to endorse at the crossroad of two chapters of history. We are in the first decade of the 8th century. About 70 years have passed since the Prophet Muhammad has passed away. His successors have kept on expanding their territory of influence, notably under the successive reigns of Caliph Abd al-Malik for a period of 20 years and Caliph Walid I, his son, who stayed on the throne for a period of 10 years. The reign of Walid I witnessed the conquest of the Sindh, a region located in nowadays Pakistan, as well as the conquest of Maghreb and Hispania. War spoils from the conquests enabled Al-Walid to finance impressive public work, among which the Great Mosque of Damascus, Al-Aqsa Mosque of Jerusalem, and the new city project of Anjar, erected from the scratch. By building a totally new city in the middle of nowhere, the nascent and victorious Umayyad Empire was aiming to address two political challenges. Number one, in the context of a very quick territory expansion, the Umayyad rulers wanted to further complete the territory integration and cohesion. Anjar was envisioned as an inland commercial center at the crossroads of two main routes, the route leading from Beirut to Damascus and the route crossing the Bekka from Homs to Tiberiad. The number two objective by investing in such a massive project as building a new city was to strengthen the new dynasty's legitimacy. First, by creating job opportunities through the very important public work, and second, by showcasing the architectural splendor and technical genius of the urban and hydraulic work as a reflect of the new ruling elite's power and distinguished cultural identity. On that note, what is so interesting in Anjar is that the urban layout and architecture are still at the transitory stage. It does not display the ultimate level of maturity of a well-defined and very specific Muslim project. On the contrary, the continuity with the prior Roman and Byzantine influence are evident. Anjar is organized according to the Roman orthogonal urban layout model, divided into 4 quadrants, which are defined by the 2 main arteries of the city, the Cardo and the Decumanus. At the intersection of these 2 axes stands the Tetrapile, a typically Roman urban monument that symbolizes the crossroads by offering 4 door openings at each of its 4 sides. The 2 axes of the city constituted commercial arteries flanked by hundreds of shops. The southwest quadrant was devoted to the residential district. In front of the residential quadrant lie the Great Palace and the adjacent mosque. The unbuilt area behind the palace possibly was a garden or an orchard. Finally, the northeast quadrant hosted the small palace as well as a small hammam in connection to the bigger public bath located northwest of the city. The importance of the bath in Anjar reflects a juncture between the Roman public bath tradition and the Arab hammam that will spread in the Arab region for the next centuries to come. Anjar's public bath is composed of a large vestiary where patrons changed clothing before their bath and rested afterwards. The size of the vestiary indicates the bath was more than a source of physical well-being, but also a center of social interaction. The bathing rooms are divided into 3 rooms for cold, warm and hot water in strict compliance with the Roman public bath model. The mosaic floor still preserved in one of the rooms is also a reminder of Roman influence. All the city was thoughtfully protected by large fortification walls with 4 entrances at each end of the 2 main arteries. The walls are 2 meters thick, and they were topped by a circulation pathway for the soldiers who could do their runs from there to protect the city. In addition, around 40 towers are seated on each stretch of wall. Though the most impressive feature of the city is doubtlessly the Great Palace. It was certainly built upon a symmetrical layout organized around a large inner courtyard.
زمانا هل نسيت المسلما نور هذا الكون روى الظما أقمرا كنا شموسا أنجما ومضينا كي نغيث الأمما ننشر الحب ونمضي قدما حلل النور بلادي فاكتسي حلل النور بلادي فاكتسي جنك الغيث إذا الغيث هما يا زمان الوصل بالأندلس قد مضينا نذكر الخير وما
Where most cities of the world emerged spontaneously and without important financial investment, just as favorable spot for human settlement along a river or along the coast, and the cities generally show a longevity that spans more than just one generation, Anjar tells us a completely different story. Not only that the city was in use for only 30 years, but it was also most likely never fully completed. Its resilience to political change was null, despite the very important amount of money injected in the project in the first place. Walid's son Ibrahim lost Anjar when he was defeated against his cousin Marwan II a few kilometers away from the city. After that, the city was destroyed by the new power. Although Anjar's testimony has survived to our days to tell us a unique story, one of an early Muslim era that built its identity on the foundation of the Roman and Byzantine civilizations that existed before. On that note, the Qusayr Hamra, another Umayyad masterpiece located in Jordan, shows even more explicitly the influence of Byzantine arts on early Muslim culture. The sudden end of Anjar after the Umayyads reflects the beginning of a new chapter of history, where the Abbasid revolts called out the decadency of the Umayyads and defeated them. The victory of the Abbasids paved the way to new forms of Muslim architectural and artistic traditions, while the heartbeat of the empire was switching from Damascus and the border Syrian-Lebanese area to Baghdad.